Howdy, howdy, welcome back to the Crafty Grinding channel. It's time again for another arena cutoff prediction for Marvel Contest of Champions. Today I'm going to be covering round 1 for Man-Thing and Star-Lord. Interesting fact, Man-Thing actually came out a little bit earlier than DC Swamp Thing. We're talking early 70s here. It's amazing what you can find on the internet these days, and of course, everything you read on the internet is true. But anyway, what I found even more interesting is Man-Thing and Swamp Thing weren't Man-Thing and Swamp Thing weren't the first swamp-based characters to show up in comics. There was actually somebody called the Heap that showed up on another comics line a couple years earlier than. So anyway, it sounds like in the late 60s, early 70s, comic book readers had a thing for swamp monsters. So anyway, now we have ours in a Marvel Contest of Champions in Man-Thing. So anyway, if you're new to the channel and new to these type of videos, what I always like to do is compare these arenas or kind of categorize these arenas to what I think they'll fall into with past arenas, as then I'll be able to then take a look at those past arena results to maybe get an idea of what might happen this time. As you can tell, this is not the most data-based. There's slight data here, but it's not the most like high science type of data analytics here. It's kind of walking methodology, but it kind of works, so I'm going to stick with it for now. So anyway, with the Man-Thing arenas, obviously with the feature arena, there's two types, or yeah, but pretty much new or old, and obviously Man-Thing, he is new in the game, so he's gonna his arenas will fall into that new feature type arenas. And then with the 4-star basic arena, really there's 3 types. Low, medium, and high interest, and I think with Star-Lord, even though he has some value in the game still, I think he's going to be on the low side. So now that I've got these bucketed, let's take a look at some of those past arena results, similar past arena results, I should say. Anyway, starting first with the 4-star basic, you can see here, even with some, and here's some recent results, even with some decent champs like Mephisto, and Sabretooth, you can see these numbers aren't that high. They go a little bit over that 4-star basic last milestone of 1.5 million to basically, 1.6-ish or so. Yeah, here recently Spider-Man Classic fell down to 1.55, but I think Star-Lord's going to be a bit higher than that, closer to those Phoenix and Sabretooth type numbers. Then with the 3-star feature arena results, you can see these are pretty old, and that's just because there's not a lot of places, actually no places across the community that regularly collect 3-star feature arena results as self-reported by the community. As just a reminder, Kabam never releases this information. The reason why we have some past cutoff results is because folks across the community take the time and share it to kind of help one another figure out what's going on with these arena cutoff results. So thank you, community, for that. So anyway, these places that typically collect this type of information no longer have the 3-star feature information. What we had last from them is anywhere between 1.3 to 1.4 for those cutoffs, and based off of, and occasionally I'll get some information from folks who watch this video who are grinding the 3-star feature arena in the veterans bracket. And by the way, these are veterans bracket results. It still seems to be pretty consistent around 1.3 to 1.4 million for new champs. Then with the 4-star feature, this is where we do have regular information collected across the community. What you can see here is that these numbers have varied quite a bit here recently, with 11.4 for Sunspot, 9.45 for Warlock, 7.9 for Vision Arcus, and then most recently 10.5 for Elsa Bloodstone. Before these, we saw numbers somewhere between 10 to 11 million, so we've had some outliers with Warlock and Vision Arcus. If anything, I think Man-Thing's going to be closer to those guys than the standard between 10 to 11 million, just because there isn't a lot of hype for him right now. It doesn't seem to be the best champ out there. Another disappointing Mystic champ out there. I think Clairvoyant was pretty good. Black Widow Clairvoyant was pretty good, but I think before that there has been some great Mystic champs, and I think we got that again here with Man-Thing. So going into the 5-star feature, you can see there's also been some variants here too, but it's a little closer to standard with Elsa, Warlock, and Mysterio all going, 45 to, 55, roughly that 10 million range. But Arcus did drop off down to 30 million. And again, if anything, Man-Thing is going to be closer to those lower sides than those higher type numbers we saw with Mysterio and Warlock. So anyway, these are some past arena results. So this is where I've kind of looking at those. Here are my thoughts for round one cutoffs for these new arenas for the veterans bracket. And as a reminder, veterans bracket means your account's been open for over 60 days, not played for 60 days, but open for 60 days. So kind of keep that in mind for newer accounts. If that account's been open for a couple months, even though you might not have been playing it that long, sorry, you're in the veterans bracket. So anyway, with that in mind, I do think Man-Thing is going to be around 40 million, likely a little bit lower than that, his cutoff. I think for the 4-star feature, you're looking at 10 million, and again, maybe slightly lower than that, but I'm going to say 10 million, just kind of round it up. And then with Star-Lord, I think we're looking at that solid standard 4-star basic trend of 1.6 million. And then lastly, for that 3-star feature Man-Thing, I think we're looking at 1.3 million. Now, as I always say, past results don't guarantee future results, so I always like to give a grind target to give folks a little buffer. If you get a 45 million for that 5-star feature Man-Thing, you should be fine. 11.5 for the 4-star feature, 1.8 million for Star-Lord, and then 1.4 million, maybe 1.45 for that 3-star Man-Thing. Now again, these grind targets and predictions are for the veterans bracket, so when it comes to the earlier brackets, there's just not a ton of historical data available to do any kind of database analysis. I do get some information from time to time for folks who watch this video, and I do appreciate that, as that's really the only indicator I get of what's going on now. And there's a ton of volatility between these brackets, arena in, arena out kind of thing. Every single arena that could be different just because people are moving every 30 days. Their accounts are swapping between these different arena brackets. So keeping that in mind, this is definitely ballpark guesstimate type numbers. But based off of what I'm hearing for the beginner's bracket, meaning from day 1 to day 30, you're looking at 3-star feature around 245,000, 4-star basic 700,000, 4-star feature 1.1 million. Then with the intermediate bracket, with that 3-star Man-Thing, we're looking at 500,000, 4-star basic Star-Lord 1 million, and lastly that 4-star feature 1.1 million. In my opinion, if you're going to grind these arenas for a new account, go after Star-Lord and get him duped. He'll help you through a lot more content probably than Man-Thing will, but that's my personal opinion. At this point, if you got in these brackets, both of these champions, all 3 of these champions would be great to grab, 3-star and 4-star versions of Man-Thing respectively. So anyway, these are my thoughts for round 1 of Man-Thing and Star-Lord arenas. I'd love to hear your opinion. Throw it on down in the comment section. We can discuss it there. Throw your questions down there too, and I'll try to get to them if at all possible. And if you find this information helpful, we really appreciate it if you click that thumbs up button, as it helps the video as well as the channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet and like what you see with these videos, we really appreciate it if you did. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and have a great day.